You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a life coach, Nancy can teach you how to stay strong under pressure and work through challenges you face. Being legally blind, Nancy inspires others to be resilient in overcoming obstacles and live full out. You can ask Nancy for advice in your life on relationships, finance, business, health, and more. Just call in at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. Now, here's Nancy.
Hello and welcome to the Living Full Out Show. My name is Nancy Solari, and today we're going to be talking about learning from our journey. Now, we have all gone through things, right? You can't help but get bumped and bruised along the way of your path, but it's what we do with that. It's what are we learning? How are we taking that information and evolving and really becoming the best that we can be? So I encourage you to call in if you're dealing with a dilemma or a struggle and you're not sure how to get from where you are now to where you want to be. Give me a call at 800-333-0001. Also, coming up in our next segment, Bob Whelan, talk about a powerhouse of a voice and inspiration. I don't want to give it all away, but I promise you don't want to miss his story. I mean, it's not just motivating, but boy, he is a man of strength in multiple ways, physically, mentally, and beyond. So stay with us for that. Also, we want to make sure that beyond today's show that you stay inspired. So check us out on all the different social media sites. We're dedicated to keeping you educated and really empowered along your week. Also, if you want to hear today's show again, go to livingfullout.com. All of our episodes will be waiting there for you. And it's all about today learning from that journey. So it's partly kind of figuring out, in what happened? Did I make a mistake? Did I make an error? Did I trust somebody and maybe I should have trusted my instincts more? It's really diagnosing what happened and what you could have done differently. But at the same time, you have to have faith in the journey, and that even times where we're, in struggle or a tragedy happens, maybe it's meant to happen. Maybe it is a part of you getting to your long life purpose, what you're meant to do, who you're meant to be. I know for me, going legally blind, I promise you, when I was a teenager, it was not part of the plan. But here I am with you, right? And when I do this show, I don't have all these note cards that I'm looking at, or I'm not looking at a screen. I am super present, listening to you and being a part of your journey, and in any way that I can be helpful and just make sure to give you the advice to help move you forward. And the thing about learning from your journey, which is even more critical, is it's paying it forward, right? If you crack the code or if you learn something, it's about being able to share that with others, especially resources. I mean, we're looking at this time right now when everybody is home and they're economically frustrated and they feel like their life is passing them by. Well, you know what? If you find a resource online or a song that really gets you revved up and excited, share that with other people. Use the power of social media in a positive way to uplift others in your life. Now, I'm getting word from our producer that we do have a caller on the line. We're going to go say hello to them. Hi, welcome to the Living Full Out Show. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, how can I help you?
Thank you. So my question is, I know most of us are cooped up at home because of the virus, and I was just wondering if you had any, tips about, how not to be so bored at home all day.
You know what? I'm going to raise both my hands because I don't think anybody goes through not having that boredom moments, right? But at the same time, what I want you to really understand at this point, if everybody listening, is I don't know about you all, but I feel like when life is at its normal speed, it's almost like there's not enough hours in the day, right? That to-do list gets longer and longer and longer. Or we say to ourselves, I just want to sleep in. Well, you know what? Right now, you can sleep in every day, right? You've got this moment in time. But at the same time, you want to balance relaxation with being productive. So when you come out of this phase of our life, all of us are in it, right? What's one thing that you'd like to say that you accomplished?
Probably that I accomplished, all of the various, tasks I have to do to finish up, college, but also, that could apply to, I guess, a job I'm also working on. So Those are
Okay.
some things that
Now
I'd like
make
to,
it
have accomplished by the time I get out.
now those sound like really big goals, right? The college thing, the career thing, they may not happen right away. Find a more tangible to do, something that you can really do. So by the time this is over, let's say 1 month from now, 6 months from now, I want to what? What would be something that you think, let's say I only gave you 30 days to do it. What's one thing that you could do in 30 days? It's a tough question, huh?
Um, I, yeah, it's kind of a tough question.
I know. But what's
I,
one thing, just you get 4 weeks to do it. In 4 weeks, you'd like to do what?
um, well, in terms of, Mother's Day is coming up, and,
Okay.
I'd like to, have everything prepared and ready for Mother's Day by the time, that hits in May.
So that is a great goal, right? And there's only so many days between now and Mother's Day. It is on the calendar. It's coming whether we like it or not, right? So what you want to do is you want to
Yep.
work backwards. You want to look at what does that goal look like by Mother's Day, which is May 10th for everybody, and kind of count backwards what it is that you need to achieve by what time, what resources might you need to get, whether you have to go to the store with your mask on or what you have to do, right? Because when we set goals that are too big, they're almost, just hard to grab onto, there's no ability to put a deadline to it, then sometimes we set ourselves up to fail because there's no end goal, there's no deadline to shoot for. So I think what you've come up with is great. So by Mother's Day, put together the list of what you want that to look like, and then, make it measurable, make it tangible, something you can do. Don't set yourself up to fail, but then you're going to turn around on May 10th and have a huge grin because you're going to be so happy that you can check it off, right? You did it. And then that way, you've now balanced all the relaxing days with the productive days. Can you do that?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling in, and I believe in you. You'll do it, and mom will be so happy. Yay. All right. Thank you for calling in. And I'm really glad that he actually asked that question, right? Because sometimes we need that incentive. We need the why. We need the for who to get us to where we want to go. Now we have another caller on the line. Let's say hello to them. Hi, welcome to Living Full Out Show.
Hi.
Hi, how can I help you?
So I work online and I also have my kids at home and I'm having a hard time figuring out how to juggle the two,
That is
work
tricky.
and kids.
That is tricky, right? I mean, how many conference
Yeah.
calls are we hearing nowadays with kids screaming in the background, right? The thing
Right.
is you have to find that space in your home that is yours for a certain amount of time. You can't take it the whole day, but I don't care if it's the bathroom and you're doing the conference call from the bathroom, or find the largest closet in your house and go in there, or, find a bedroom that you can carve out just 9 to 5 or 10 to 2, and treat it like office hours. And even put on your normal business casual wear, go into that meeting the professional that you are. But then when you open that door and you put on your relaxation clothes, it's time to be mom, it's time to be wife, it's time to have fun, and play games and cook together in the kitchen. But it is finding that balance and having that discipline. But I think if you do that, you will be able to find that chemistry. Now, again, obviously, depending on how old the kids are, sometimes they're going to get that and sometimes they're not. But the power of using TV in a positive way, the internet in a good way, get them educated, get them, interested in something that, will draw their attention only for the time that you have to unplug to do your work. Can you do that?
I can. Thank you so much for your help.
You're very welcome. Thank you for calling in. And again, here we are, right? We're all in this together. It's just how do we come out of this learning from this journey? I can tell you right away that when I started this, I didn't know how long we'd be in quarantine. I didn't know how long, various cities or states would be open or closed. But the thing is I made a decision pretty much 2 weeks in that it was going to be business as normal, right? I was still going to work my Monday through Friday. I was going to watch movies with my mom in the evenings and just relax. And I want you to also have that balance. Feel free to go to livingfullout.com if you'd like. We have an 80 tips to bring balance in your life. That might be helpful during this time as well. Stay with us. We're going to be coming back with Bob Whelan. Truly an amazing man. Can't wait to share his story with you. I'm Nancy Solari. This is the Living Full Out Show. We will be back.
Hi, professional skateboarder Tony Hawk here with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck to remind you to get moving every day.
Because when you get moving an hour a day,
you'll have the energy to skate through anything.
Nice play on words, Doc.
That's how I roll, Bugs. So whether you like to work the half pipe,
now that's catching air,
kick the soccer ball around, or dance in your room,
just move it your way.
For an hour a day.
The way you like to move, as long as you're moving.
Carve out some time every day and get active. Because it's time to do a 180 on what you think exercise is.
Because it can be whatever you want it to be. So be a player.
Be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day, Doc. Check out how to be a player at letsmove.gov.
Head online to get tips on great ways to get moving every day.
At www.letsmove.gov. Let's hear that one more time, Doc. That's www.letsmove.gov. A message from the Ad Council and HHS.
I'm Nancy Solari, Certified Life and Business Coach. I want to invite you to the Personal Development Boot Camp. During the boot camp, we're going to be looking at taking those insecurities that you have and getting rid of them. We're also going to look at ways in which you can thrive and live a life full of purpose. Go to livingfullout.com/bootcamp, livingfullout.com/bootcamp to sign up. I believe in you, and here's to you living your life full out.
I'm Sarah, and this is my story.
I'm Ellen, and this is my story.
One night, I was at a bar.
I
was having fun with my friends.
I
had one too many drinks.
I
got behind the wheel to go home.
I got a cab to go home.
All of a sudden, from out of nowhere, a squirrel ran across the road. It happened so quickly, I barely had time to react.
The cabbie barely had time to react.
I swerved.
The cab swerved.
I can't believe it. I hit a guy.
I cannot believe it. The cabbie just missed a guy.
I wish I took a cab.
Thank goodness I took a cab.
You have the choice to save a life. Don't drive buzzed. It's a decision you'll never regret. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Hey, America, we need to have a little talk. We've got more food than we know what to do with in this country, yet 17 million kids in America are struggling with hunger. Makes no sense. Luckily, the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks has volunteers gathering excess food and getting it to hungry kids. They're kind of like food angels. Hey, become a food angel yourself by supporting Feeding America in your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. We can't do it without your help. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
If you think depression is all in a person's head, you're right. It's a brain illness. And like other illnesses, it has symptoms. Depression can make those who suffer from it feel hopeless. It can even lead to suicide. Learn how to stop depression from taking another life. Call SAVE, Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, 1-888-511-SAVE, on the web at save.org.
I'm Alec Baldwin. Like any parent, I'm concerned about children's health. Many kids don't eat as they should and are at risk for long-term health problems like diabetes and heart disease. But here's good news. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and other low-fat vegetarian foods can protect our kids and keep the rest of the family healthy too. For a free booklet, call the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine at 1-877-685-KIDS or visit www.kidsgethealthy.org.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. With Nancy's expertise, you'll learn how to embrace your potential and strive for success. If you have a question or need further support, send us an email at connect@livingfullout.com. Now, here's Nancy.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we're talking about learning from our journey. And we strive to bring inspiration guests to you each week that really amplify, that are such an amazing example of our theme. And Bob Whelan, I'm telling you, he checks every box, okay? I don't want to give a story away. I want to work it through with him. But not only is he a man of physical strength, mental strength, but just the love he has for his faith, for his country. You're going to hear this story, and you're going to want to stand up and really clap with pride, or sit down and clap, whatever you want to do, because to me, he's a hero in so many ways. So, Bob, I'd like to welcome you to the show. Bob Whelan.
Well, thank you very much. I'm fired up.
I am too. Oh my gosh, so much to get through, Bob. Let's just dive on in. So, you know, Bob, you so many times we have childhood dreams and ambitions through our teenage years, and we want to be something. And for you, that was becoming a pitcher in baseball and really having great strides with the major leagues. And you had the talent to do it. You could have been that. That could have been your lifelong purpose and accomplishment. But around that time, Vietnam was calling, right? And you got that knock on the door that they needed you, and you went. But unfortunately, when you were in Vietnam, tragedy struck. Can you share with us today about the day of the accident and what happened?
Well, it actually happened June 14th, 1969. We were told to go into an enemy stronghold. It was called the Hobo Woods. And again, it was an enemy stronghold, and our immediate commanders told us to go in there and turn the place into a parking lot. And to our surprise, when we went in there, we were the ones that got ambushed. And the next thing I know, everybody's yelling and screaming for help, help, help. Well, what do? I had to make a quick decision, and I made a decision to run up and help my fallen comrades out.
Mm-hmm. You know, and the thing is, you were strong. You were 6'1", 205, 23. I mean, you were the perfect built to handle this mission. But at the same time, unlucky timing had you step on a detonator that did what?
Well, it was precisely an 82 millimeter mortar round. Very, very powerful explosive. Powerful enough it could put a tank out of commission. Powerful enough if you got hit by one. It had a killing radius of approximately 30 yards. And of course, I was closer than 30 yards. I was standing on it, and it was pressure detonated. So my legs went flying in one direction, and my life went flying in another. The next thing I know, they put me in a body bag, fly me to the 12th Evacuation Hospital in Cu Chi, Vietnam, where two of the top doctors pronounced me dead on arrival. So the circumstances back then didn't look very good. And I believe I might have moved a little bit in the body bag, and somebody saw the body bag move, and they go, hold it. This soldier might still be alive. And so they opened up the bag and brought me back to life, and I've been fired up ever since.
Wow. Yeah, I know for you, your first memory was not, it was like 5 days later, and you lifted up the blanket and you saw that you had no legs. I mean, you knew the injury that had happened. But, Bob, the thing that I think is so really touching about your story is so many men, women never came home. But you were grateful, actually, for that injury. Why?
Very much so. Very, very. I'm still grateful today that God spared my life. But I guess He has some work for me to do, and I'm always ready to accept it. And in fact, I'm getting ready to run this November 1st, the New York City Marathon for this will be my 9th marathon, be the 3rd time I'll be running New York City on my arms. Now, that might be hard for people to comprehend.
Well, and you are 74 young, right? So
I feel phenomenal.
Wow.
Well, I train hard. It's been part of my routine. And so I got a very, very good foundation. I'm very, very serious. I'm a no-nonsense guy when it comes to these events. And I don't stop till I get to the finish line. So that's what's upcoming for me right now.
Well, tenacity is one of our buzzwords at Living Full Out. And like I said, you embody so much of what our principles are. Now, you didn't just come back and decide to go park it on a beach and drink pina coladas. I mean, you were like, okay, I have no legs, but I'm a physical fitness person and I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something big. And you did. You left your home in Wisconsin. You took yourself out to sunny California, and you actually enrolled in physical education as your major. And you got a couple eyebrows looking at you.
Yeah. I went to California State University at Los Angeles, and the department head thought I was lost. I said, no, I'm here to major in physical education. And he said, could you please repeat that? I said, I'm here to major in physical education. And he said, well, unfortunately, sir, he said, this was 1972. He said, our building is not accessible. We have no elevators, and all the classes are on the 2nd floor, and there were 37 steps. So he said, I appreciate your desire, but I don't think it's going to work out. And I said, I don't think it'll be a problem at all. And he said, could you please repeat that? I said, I don't think it'll be a problem at all. So I jumped out of my manual wheelchair at the time, folded it up, and threw it up to 37 steps in about 4.210 seconds. And the department chairman, Dr. William Wilgus, said, you know what, son? You can major in anything you want. And so I went for it. I enjoyed it and even had a number of honors there. I was named the outstanding graduate student in the physical education department, and then I was named by the entire university the outstanding alumnus. So
well,
I really,
Bob, it's just so many. One of so many accomplishments you've had. But the thing is we're going to come back after this break. But what I want everybody to really soak up as we go through Bob's story is, yes, he had the physical strength and the mental strength, but so do you. So do you. You might not be, hiking yourself up 37 steps of stairs, but you know what? You can do it. You can live full out. So I am Nancy Solari. Stay with us. We'll be right after this break. More with Bob Whelan when we come back. All about learning from your journey. Stay with us. We'll be back.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari.
There are many sounds in your day-to-day life. There are sounds that wake you up. Sounds that make you smile. Sounds that energize you. And sounds that help you relax. But there are some sounds that can alert you to danger and can help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you information about severe weather events, Amber Alerts, or other emergencies in your area. With critical information from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know, wherever you are. For more information, visit ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey, but people in this town call me Maniac. They call me that because I'm the fastest runner in town. But just because everyone knows who I am doesn't mean I belong. I don't really belong anywhere. You see, I'm an orphan, and I wander the streets just looking for a place that I can truly call home. My name is Maniac McGee, and I'm all alone. Explore new worlds. Read my story in the novel Maniac McGee by Jerry Spinelli. For other great book ideas, visit your local library or log on to literacy.gov. Brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
Look for the bare necessities.
The bare necessities of healthy living are easier than you think.
You better believe it.
And the food pyramid shows you the way. With just the right amount of exercise and the necessary grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, and meats and beans.
Just the bare necessities of life.
So eat right, be active, and have fun.
Yeah, man.
For your own path to a healthier you, visit mypyramid.gov.
This is really living.
This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Nancy Solari, host of the Living Full Out Show. I am excited to let you know that we are now associated with Alexa. If you have Alexa in your house and you didn't know that, go ahead and find Living Full Out because you can hear us anytime you want, and we're there for you to keep you motivated. Go to your app store because we're located there as well. Just look for the Living Full Out radio show. It's important to us that we put out really inspiring programming, but we want to make sure that you have it at your fingertips when you need us most. We never know when those challenges are going to come, when we're going to feel lonely and need that motivation. So just know that when you need us, we're here for you. Check out Alexa, the app stores, or go to livingfullout.com. Here's to you living full out.
What if I could tell you that a full-blown wildfire was going to occur tomorrow right where you live? Tell you exactly which neighborhoods it would engulf and how fast it would do it. The first thing you would do is talk with your loved ones and make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a wildfire will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you make a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait, communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a life coach, Nancy can teach you how to stay strong under pressure and work through challenges you face. Being legally blind, Nancy inspires others to be resilient in overcoming obstacles and live full out. You can ask Nancy for advice in your life on relationships, finance, business, health, and more. Just call in at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. Now, here's Nancy.
Welcome back. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show, and today we're talking about learning from our journey, and we have an amazing guest for you. We're going to continue the interview with Bob Whelan, and Bob, I'm so happy to have you on the show, and there's so much more to share, so welcome back.
Absolutely. Let's wrap it up.
You got it. Now, here's the thing. Oh my gosh, I am feeling like a little bit of a wimp today because, boy, not only are you, again, mentally strong, a man of faith, I mean, you didn't just settle. You went out there, you grabbed yourself a gorgeous fashion model as a wife, right? You excelled in your faith. You took on your athletics to the best of your ability. And what I want everybody to understand is, yes, he was in a wheelchair. Yes, he didn't have legs, but his arms were 22 inches. Your chest was 64 inches. And I'm just feeling like a super wimp talking to you. But I got to tell you, what is so amazing to me, and you have to share with us about this United States powerlifting championship, because to win that, I mean, these were fully abled people in every way, and you just blew them away. Tell us about that.
Well, it wasn't really that easy. It took me quite a few years, but I never stopped short of my goal. And so I did enter the United States Powerlifting Championships in Santa Monica, California. And at that time, I weighed about 122 pounds and lifted bench press 303 pounds. And it turns out it broke the old record by 13 pounds. And everybody said, oh, my God, the man with no legs just defeated everybody in the world. And as crazy as it sounds, I was expecting to do it. That's what my goals were. And kind of like the joy is in the journey. I look forward to every day. I really try not to miss one day of training. I train very scientifically because of my background in exercise physiology and physical education, and make sure I get plenty of rest, but train very, very strict. And, hey, the results began to pile up. But I actually, Nancy, broke the world record 4 different times. I was getting ready to come down to Dallas, Texas, attempt to break it a 5th time, and they said, we're making a new decision. I go, ho, they're going to accept the record. They said, no, we're not accepting the record. We're decided to ban you from competition.
You're just too strong if that's a thing. But you know what, Bob? Again, yes, you're amazing in your strength, but I also think it's the heart that you have for your country. Because I'm a huge patriotic person. Like, I love 4th of July. Every time I hear a patriotic song, I just sing along. And you decided to take your strength and really make a stand for not just representing people with disabilities, but also, walking with your arms out to your compadres over at the Vietnam Memorial. Tell us about that.
Well, that was pretty awesome. It took 3 years, 8 months, and 6 days to go from Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California to Wall 22 West, Line 47 at the Vietnam Memorial, where therein lies the name of Jerome Lubino, my fellow soldier and comrade who I was trying to save his life. Jerome unfortunately passed away, and there we were. The walk across America was completed. But I had a number of Vietnam veteran buddies come in and be there with me. And then, of course, President Reagan welcomed me into the White House. And he was so overwhelmed, he started crying.
He called you Mr. Inspirational, right? That was you.
Yeah.
But I really...
His name, Mr. Inspiration.
I really want everybody to get that, though. This is 3 years, 8 months, right? 6 days. I mean, I have to really go back and calculate, what have I done with the last 3 years of my life? 8 months and 6 days. And here you were doing this. And what I really like about it, though, is I think we all have the ability to start a movement, to take something, a disability or a tragedy in our life, and do good with it. And you wanted that to be something that, again, was not only for our country, but also just really representing, that people with a disability can do it too.
Yeah, and representing veterans. I'm very proud to have served with the 25th Infantry Division over in Vietnam. I still wear my 25th Infantry Division hat often. Because I was proud to serve our country.
Yeah.
Everybody says, hey, freedom is always free. That's true. My next question is, how much it costs? And that's what stumps a lot of people. They go, oh, wow, we never thought of it that way.
Pretty amazing.
It's
pretty
very,
amazing.
very expensive.
Yeah. Now, I'm curious, Bob, today we're talking about learning from our journey, and you've had a lot of milestones in your life. But when you really simplify it, because if you take away the awards and you take away the titles, to many, you're Bob, right? And
Absolutely.
so what have you, a man of faith, a man named Bob, taking all those accolades away, what have you learned from this journey, you personally?
Yes. Well, we can learn from others and look to examples, and that's why one of my favorite statements is, one great example is 10 times more powerful than great advice. And we see today, everybody's telling you how to do this and how to do that. And I go, well, what have you accomplished? Well, we haven't accomplished anything, but we want to tell you how to do this. And it just, I have a hard time comprehending that, because I would rather live what I talk about, and I think it's a much stronger example.
Well, and you go out there and you motivate crowds of the thousands, and there's going to be
40,000 was my largest audience.
See, look at that. But there's going to always be somebody in this audience and your audience that just recently got bad news. It could be a health condition. It could be a disability, an unexpected one. But they may not have the same strength physically you did. But what do you tell them to rise up and find that purpose?
Well, again, that goal has to come from deep down inside your heart. You have to be extremely determined, because there'll be plenty of roadblocks along the way. Everybody will say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, why don't you quit? And I don't pay any attention to it. I keep my eyes focused on the goal, and I don't stop until I get there. And that's what's going on in my life right now as I prepare for the New York City Marathon, 6 months away. Another 26 miles on my arms, but you see, I've done the preparation. I've done a little over 9,000 miles on my arms, so it won't be anything that I haven't experienced before.
Well, and honestly, if I'm in a dark alley or if I need protection, I'm coming to you, because boy, not only do you have strong arms, but I think just with your words alone, you could scare off anybody, because you're so authentic and you talk the truth. And I think a lot of times that's what we have to do. We have to pull back the curtain. We have to take off not the mask, the virus mask, but our mask of our life. And we have to look and find what is special about us. I mean, you knew that your strength was your special quality. And then along the way, I'm sure you tapped into others, but there's a lot of people that don't know that, and it's the quest to find it. And as we round out today's interview, what does living full out mean to you?
Well, first of all, my trust in the Lord as a Christian simply says, for with God nothing shall be impossible. Well, that's all I need to hear. If he said, and I tell people, hey, don't get uptight with me. I didn't write it. That's what it says. For with God nothing shall be impossible. So that's why I believe with all my heart, 100%, that whatever it is I undertake, God's going to give me the strength, the wisdom, the knowledge, understanding how to get to that finish line. And don't stop until you get there, because there's always going to be obstacles. I've never been afraid of obstacles. It really lets you know how strong you are. But what happens today is everybody has these great goals, and they come across a little obstacle, and they go, I quit. I said, for what? They said, well, we had this obstacle get in the way. I don't operate that way. So.
Well, you're my brother from a different mother, because I don't either. I don't either. In fact, I would much rather live in a world of I tried and I guess I didn't make it than to always regret. Because the regret, that gray zone, the I wish I had, I could have tried, oof, that's a tough one to gulp, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You put that in your heart and in your mind, and then take the appropriate and corresponding action. That's what I think is so very, very important. It's easy to say, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's just like, oh, I'm going to run the New York City Marathon. That didn't take much work. So I'm in heavy preparation right now for an event that's going to take place approximately 6 months from now, November 1st.
Wow.
And, you got to put the time in before you get to where you got to go.
Preparation is everything. Exactly. Well, Bob, thank you so much for being on the show today, and keep us posted on how you do in November. We'll be looking out for you, and watch out, New York. Here he comes. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Have a great day, Bob. And
You
for
all.
everybody listening today, wow, right? I mean, I don't know about you all, but I am going to go work out after this. But most importantly, he has shown me, and hopefully all of you as well, that our mental strength is everything. That planning, that passion within us. And it doesn't mean that you have to go run a marathon. It doesn't mean that you have to win a powerlifting championship. Just find your lane. Find that unique special talent that you're gifted with, you're born with, and then run with it. And if you don't know what that is, call me. Let's figure it out together, okay? So stay with us. We're going to be coming back, taking more of your calls. But if you want to be a guest just like Bob and you've overcome a challenge in your life, please reach out to us at connect@livingfullout.com. Let us know what you overcame. Give us their contact info so we can reach out to you, and perhaps we can have you on the show as an inspirational guest. I'm Nancy Solari. It's the Living Full Out Show. We'll be back.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text.
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. So many comments on my comment.
Hey, guys, check out my new video game.
Mom, what?
Huh? Pew, pew.
What'd you say?
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Thanks for asking, but I'd rather not send you nude pictures. I'm camera shy. I already said no. It's against my religion. I'm giving my dog a bath. You can have pictures of that. Pressure gives me hives. Under my clothes, I'm a robot. Hold on, let me ask my mom. Sorry, my webcam is broken. I'm worried they'll get passed around school. Unfortunately, I just had my clothes surgically attached to my body. If they got out, I might never be president. I'm already naked, under my clothes. Not even if you were all three Jonas Brothers. I have a rash. I have nudophobia. I have lizard skin. The more you ask, the less I want to. You're not the boss of me. Nudity makes me vomit. I'm a vampire, so I don't show up in pictures anyways. Your badgering has really killed the mood.
When someone is pressuring you to do something you don't want to, how many ways can you say no before they get the message? Let us know at that'snotcool.com. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day.
Football
I want to be a
stadium.
bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Well, I finally did it. My student loan is totally paid off.
What? What about our plan to win the lottery and start living? You know, travel the world on matching yachts, wear enough jewelry to require a bodyguard, vacation on the French Riviera, and then buy it.
You know we're never going to win the lottery, right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
When it comes to learning from our journey, sometimes it's hard to identify those pearls of wisdom. So I want to give you the suggestion. Become really good at journaling. Write down your thoughts. In the middle of the night, if you can't sleep, write it down. If you had a great family adventure, or maybe something didn't go well in the holidays, write it down. It's all about documenting your life story and learning from the journey.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. Nancy is here as a guide to show you how to rise above obstacles and savor each moment. If you have a question, call in live at 800-333-0001. That's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
So glad to be here with you today. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out show, and we have been talking about learning from our journey. And really what I hope everybody kind of soaks up from today is that whether you are 16, 43, or 89, right? There's always the ability to reflect and really soak up, what changes could you have made? What decisions did you do right? But also what you've learned, and also to look ahead and see, what are those aspirations that you're shooting for? Put some deadline parameters around those so you can actually achieve them. I really believe the quest of living full out it's not how fast we get there. It's what we learn and the experiences we have from the beginning to the end. So we're going to now move over back to a listener and check in. And our producer says we have a caller on the line. Let's go say hello. Hi, welcome to the Living Full Out show. Hi, thank you for joining us.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Hi, Nancy. Thanks so much for having me on the podcast today. I really appreciate it. I am a graduating senior, so I guess my question is, how can I feel like the work that I'll be doing is meaningful if I can't see the results of my work immediately?
So what is it that you're shooting for? What do you want to be when you grow up? Or what do you want to be today, tomorrow?
Sure. So I am studying political science and economics. So I hope to work in the field of public policy and decision-making, hopefully, by the end of my career.
Okay. So the reason why I asked that is, so let's say you become that professional. What impact do you want to make? What is one tangible, meaningful change that you would like to do? The number one.
Oh, gosh, there's so many. I'd say to increase opportunity for women of color. I think is a group that I'm particularly interested in, since they oftentimes face a lot of disadvantages built into the system of our economy.
Okay, and that's a great start. So what you want to do is you want to take that, just like how you called in today and you had your big question, and then we paired it to what your major was. And then we peeled it back, and now we got to like your focus or your outcome, your desire. You want to keep peeling away that onion. And what you want to do is get to a place where you and only you can make that imprint. You were here. You were the one that did it. You're the one that made it happen. So sometimes if we talk in generality and we talk about a really big vision, if we don't have tangible steps or resources or even the secret sauce of you that is actually the change agent that makes it happen, that's what you want to put down in writing. Kind of map it out for yourself. It's not always going to go to plan, but map it out as much as you possibly can, because other people are going to have that same major. They're going to have that same goal. And so when you consider going out there and applying for jobs to be that change agent, your future employer, your future organization that you work for, they're going to want to hear something from you that really proves to them, wow, this person's a force to be reckoned with. Do you see that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so get as detailed, as specific as you can. Even go into that interview with a fast forward down the line vision example. And if you do that, you're going to blow away people. And you know what? You're going to make change happen faster because you lived it, you breathed it, you experienced it in your mind and your heart. And that's when a vision, a dream becomes reality. Can you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I am all for actual steps. So that sounds perfect. Thanks so much, Nancy.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling in. And for everybody listening today, wow, it is all about learning from our journey, and it is never too late. There's never too many lessons that will come, because I can tell you, I'm going to walk out that door today and life is going to teach me something. It's going to teach you something. And you just have to be eyes wide open, ears open to really take in the moment and then say, you know what, look at that. And then make that change. But if you let it just slide past you, then you're not going to learn from it. So get out there, be active, live full out. The entire Living Full Out family thanks you for joining us today. We got Nieva and Rebecca and Caleb and Eilish and Rich and so many people that just want to make sure that you are living a life of purpose, that you are out there rocking it, as our guest today, Bob Whelan, said. You know, go out there with passion in your heart, shout loud, sing loud, do big actions. And although they may seem big, they may seem loud, you know, and sometimes you got to make big waves to get to where you want to go. I believe in you, and make sure to go to livingfullout.com to listen to this show again. Or if you're out and about taking a walk, just go to the App Store, look for Living Full Out Radio, and we will be right there in your earbuds to keep you inspired. Here's to all of you living your life full out.
Thank you for listening to the Living Full Out Show with Nancy Solari. To learn more about this program, visit livingfullout.com for the latest episodes. Connect with the Living Full Out community by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you have an inspirational story you want to share, email us at connect@livingfullout.com. Here's to you, living full out.